Y'all. Ooh, I hate my clothes. Not this dress, actually. I really like this dress. This one's really pretty, so. Right? I've been thinking about color a lot lately. Ever since I saw myself in brown/orange eyeshadow for the first time. So I tried a different color makeup today and realized how bad it looks on me. That got me thinking about a lot of the clothes that I have. I kind of realized that I don't have any personal style. We are gonna sew an entire new wardrobe. I've got in my head it's gonna take like 10 days. I'm a little worried it's gonna take like 3 weeks. Who knows? I hope it doesn't take 3 weeks. I've seen a lot of really beautiful women on Instagram who have a strong personal style, and the one that I am the most drawn to is those girlies who have black hair and all black clothes and long fancy nails. First step on this really fast-tracked style evolution that we are gonna do for me. New hair, who dis? Severus Snape, that's who. I didn't think it would be this dark. I don't know, he's kind of cornered the market on short black hair, so. Ugh. So I did want to quickly address why I feel like I don't have a personal style. It's probably because for most of my videos I look like an absolute gremlin. But to be more specific, I do a lot of op shopping and I try to shop fairly ethically as much as I can. So I often buy fabrics based on the fiber content. So that means I end up buying a doona cover because it's linen, and then I make a dress that I kind of hate the color of. Also, cottagecore just didn't work for me. I have tried, just doesn't feel like me. Doesn't work. If you try to buy recycled cotton, then a lot of them come out in this kind of oatmeal-y marl color, and I kind of feel like that color washes me out. The other reason that I have really struggled to develop a personal style is I am a lifetime member of the Sore Tummy Gang, which means I end up buying maternity jeans. I don't even like this color, but I wear these all the time because they are comfy. I think a lot of people donate this oatmeal color because it might wash everyone out. And I'm also really sick of blending in with my wall. The problem might be that I just like too many different things and you end up with things that don't go together. So I thought we could really quickly go through my non-style journey and mostly just laugh at photos of me from my past. I'm about 16 in this picture, I think, and I had a bit of like a boho goth vibe going on. This might actually be one of my best looks. After that, I transitioned into a bit of a cyber goth look. I had cyber locks. That one's actually from when I did modeling for a gothic brand. I wouldn't have worn lace myself. After that, we tried being a blonde girly. It didn't work. It's so bad. It was a dark time, regardless of how bright the colors are. We're gonna skip through a bunch of years here because honestly, I don't have photos of them, and my clothes have just kind of been clothes from that point on, I think. Look, here is me trying my absolute best at Fashion Week one time. Enough said. An attempt at cottagecore. Doesn't feel like me. I look a lot like my nana. So these days I kind of only have like 3 looks, and that is house gremlin, summer goth boho, sort of, and woman who thinks she could build her own furniture and is probably right. So I am very excited that we're gonna fix this today. Oh yes. We got a lot of sewing to do. Let's talk about the designs. Black crop top, lace up back, super cute. Backless crop top in black linen, same pattern as my backless dress that I made when I was ripping off a designer. Always wanted to make that into a top, so we're finally doing it. I feel like I should put this on the ground. Is there somewhere else I can put this? This has been on my list for such a long time. I am going to attempt to recreate with my own spin this wolf and badger vest. So cute, I love it. How do I not have just some light, flowy, summery pants? Next up, inspired by this picture here. Oh, I love it. This has been on my Pinterest for quite a while. High-waisted split skirt, and I'm gonna do this in a really comfy black jersey, so it's gonna be stretchy. I just love a dress I can kind of just throw on. I feel like I'm wearing an outfit when I wear a dress, and it turns out I'm actually comfortable in mini dresses, so we're gonna make one. I wasn't gonna make this. What is that noise? Hopefully you can't hear it. This is kind of a bonus item. I didn't initially plan on doing this, but I found in my stash this gray linen curtain, so we're gonna make a gray maxi dress, one that I can literally just throw over my head. No lacing, no ties, like, well, maybe it might have ties. Do you know what? Don't listen to me. And the last one, most challenging. I am worried about this one. I found this fabric during a sale at the fabric store. It is, I think, 97% wool. It's a faux shearling, and I have been looking for this for the entire of winter. So now that it is spring and summer, I'm finally gonna make a puffer jacket. So this is the entire collection that we are making in one video. We're just gonna start from the start. I think we're just gonna go crop top. Let's start with the crop top. Let's get one of the easiest ones done first, and then we get a win, and then we get the ball rolling, and then eventually we can tackle the puffer jacket. Let's get to it. Oh, also, the finger lamp is back. Yes. Isn't she lovely? Ha ha. I love it. Also, these ones, really fun. I meant to put these on the fridge. These are the giblets. I turned them into magnets. It brings me so much joy. That is a permanent addition. Apologies to people who hate fingers. Let's go make me a whole new wardrobe. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, it's ridiculous. Okay, so for this one, we're starting out with a black linen. So this top that we're doing now is actually this top that I made for when I went to a wedding, and luckily I saved pattern pieces. I hope this is the right pattern. Let's get to it. Also, yeah, it's really warm today, but the sun disappeared, so it's also really dark. Weird. I started out with eyeballing the size of the straps. It's not consistent, but it gets the job done. I'm pretty sure I only bought 3 fabrics specifically for this whole project. Everything else was leftovers from my fabric stash where I've already used the fabric for something else. So I had to be pretty careful with how I laid out the pattern pieces to get the most out of what we had. All right, we have our big old pile of straps done. This will do our shoulder straps, our loops, and our tie through the back. Let's make a top. Oh, wait. I should explain that this one is wider here because on my shirt that I made before, I ended up adding a panel in here. So we've got a line here. Let's go. All pinned up. These are bigger than the original. I don't know why, because I followed the instructions that I had on the pattern. Weird. But I think I'm just gonna go with it, and I can always just remove it from the back panel where I added fabric for possibly no reason now. Oh my gosh, it has gotten so dark in here. We have grey skies and thunder. Still 30 degrees. So, not that you're going to be able to see it, but I have sewn all of these. So what I'm going to do is trim these down, press it, and then see how it's fitting so I can figure out how far I need to fold this in to create our lace up back, and also how on earth I am going to sew this so I can bag it out, but also make myself a boning channel. Oh, we could do the boning channel first, then bag it out. Oh, we got this. We need a boning channel for the back, just so the back sits nicer. If you ever try and do a lace up back without any boning in it, it's just gonna not be a good time. I trimmed off the excess from the top. I rewatched my old video. Turns out I had 1.5 centimeter seam allowances to make boning channels, which I didn't end up using on this top, hence it being too big. Then I added the loops, secured them in place, and then flipped them over and sewed the boning channel. The one, I am doing some boning, just a little bit. I did the same for the straps and then attached the lining while doing some really weird things with my mouth. What is that? Is that why my jaw hurts so much? I actually do have really bad jaw pain right now. Next I put in zip ties into the boning channels, but apparently I did that thing again where I turned off the camera when I meant to turn it on, so here's me messing with my camera settings instead. Next I bagged out the top, thankfully everything was in the right place, and apparently I called it a day without saying anything. I overshot it. Hello, good morning. If the lighting is weird in this video, it's because we changed some settings when we did the reveal for my last video because we shot it in full sun and my camera normally can't handle that, and I can't figure out how to change it quite back, and so the lighting is just being a little bit odd, so sorry, I just don't know anything about cameras. End of sentence. Where we're at this morning, finished. Last night I did the hand sewing on the couch. I'm sorry, I was too tired to film it. And then I did a little top stitch just around the edge because there's only boning in the back. I figure it's just gonna be easier if there's some top stitching on the bottom and top edges so that it holds its shape once it gets washed. But yeah, oh, so cute, done. Moving on to top 2. This design here, fingers crossed, I have all the pattern pieces I need in my pattern stash. Let's go. Is it distracting that I have windows in the back? I like oscillate between letting the light in and then also covering them up because it feels like they just stand out a little bit. I don't know. Let me know. I keep most of my patterns. I think I almost keep every pattern piece and like try to label them. Look at past me being organized. Let's go. Can I tell you how silly I feel that I didn't do the basic math of if I make 10 items and each one is about 5 minutes of the video, that's 50 minutes? It's a big old whoops. I did not mean for this video to be so long. What's really cool about making this top is that I remember when I made the dress that I wished I hadn't interfaced the front because it was like, because it's so bunchy, it just really didn't need it and it was a bit warm and stuffy. And I do remember that I liked the back being interfaced because it gave it a really nice structure the way that it hung. So we're only going to be interfacing the back, so I do need to cut that out. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, I need one more strap. I'll explain. I'm over here now, I'll explain. I got these little swimsuit bikini hook things. Yeah, let's see if I can show you. We focus? Wonderful, these. I got these. I fell. What I did last time to make this dress sit properly was I did a tie at the back, but I would have really preferred if it wasn't a tie because that's kind of uncomfortable on your spine. And so what I want to do this time is have that strap there. Instead of it tying at the back, it's gonna loop over and then hook in on one side with one of these, and then I don't have to have a bow at the back. I don't think I can make it adjustable. I don't think I have the right stuff. I would need a slider. Do I have a slider? I have a slider. All right, we're gonna cut a strap that's gonna hopefully try and fit into this tiny little hole. All right, let's make about 1,000,000 straps. I attached the iron-on interfacing to the back pieces only because we have learnt from our past, but that's when things start to go downhill. I was removing the tailor's tacks from the front piece. I say piece because it should have been singular. Somehow one of the pieces was whole. I honestly don't know how this happened, but I just sewed the two pieces together with a very small seam. After that, I proceeded to sew on the dart, and my machine started trimming my thread too short. So I had to rethread it over and over again. My crazy hair is at least matching my vibe right now. Oh, yeah, it turns out machines require maintenance. Excuse me, Alfred. Why are you between my legs? What are you doing down there? Hi. You're a good boy, but sometimes I have to pay attention to my sewing machine instead of you. You've had so many pats today. He's such a good boy. Yeah, look at that. This has already moved over as far as it can. It probably isn't the thread cutter, and I guess if it's not this debris issue, then it's a tension issue. See, you can DIY anything. I think I can save us a lot of time here. It turns out the tension screw has been missing from my bobbin case this entire time, and I struggle with it the entire project. Hello. I am back. For you, it's been a second. For me, I walked the dog. It was the whole thing. So now I just kind of have to figure out how I put this all together in a way that I can like bag it out and do as little hand stitching as possible. Joining here and here. Basically, I just figured I would sew a bunch of the seams, hope for the best, and just unpick what I needed to be able to turn this out. Unfortunately, I really struggle to conceptualize what I can bag out. Honestly, this is what slows me down so much. I really should never do a timed sewing challenge. So I did some unpicking and tried again, which did not work, so I did more unpicking. My brain today. I needed to take the shoulders apart. I have a vague memory of last time doing this. What I'm gonna do now that I've taken the shoulders apart is put them back together and machine stitch around that loop as much as I can. And then yes, oh, now I remember, yes. And then just hand stitch the little bit that I need to do that I can't close with the machine. And then I stitch in the ditch to create the channels and just stitch through the middle. That's what it is. I will see you tomorrow where I will hopefully be more. Good morning. Can you see why I need new clothes? Look at me just blending into the wall in this cardigan. If it wasn't for my hair in this top, you wouldn't be able to see me. It's finally starting to look like a top. Haha. So I pressed it this morning. I was able to machine stitch a good chunk of the top of the sleeves to get these back together. And now I have a bunch of hand sewing to do. I have to sew the channels into the top. We've got our channel at the bottom here so that we can tie that off. And then we will need to do a covered button at the back and our little closure strap thingy. Seeing as we're about to do some hand sewing and I want to get cozy, we need to go out first. That doesn't make much sense. We're gonna go get some press-on nails. Let's go get ourselves a little treat. If I could sing, I would do a little song about It's Treat Day. I'm gonna do a little illustration for It's Treat Day. Take that, editing me. Now you have to draw something. Okay, so I like the coffin shape and I like the stiletto shape, but they don't have them in black. They've only got them in like pinks and things. And the black only comes in an almond shape, which I don't love. So I'm thinking maybe we go purple shimmer. So like these are fun, but again, they're only medium square. And I want spiky. I've got my nails, I've got my soup for lunch. Let's give this a try. How do the nail girlies do it? I already cannot pick things up. My bet is we don't last till the end of the day. But let's give it a go. Let's try and do some oh my God, I have to do hand sewing. Oh my God, I can't even tie the knot. Am I gonna get used to it? Or is there like no overlap between the nail girlies and the crafting girlies? I was able to get the sewing done, but the stitches were nowhere near as accurate or small as usual. It was also a lot slower. I have a bit of a fear of using nail glue. I'm worried that I'll panic and not be able to get the nail off, or that they will somehow rip my nails off. So I used the adhesive tabs, and it turns out those really are only good for photo shoots. So next I tried and failed to make a covered button and admitted defeat. It is time to admit defeat. I don't know where this one went. It's fun while it lasted. So I sewed on a plain old regular button, bummer, attached our little strap to the back by hand, and struggled for a while to figure out what order the sliders and the hook go on. Then I pulled the ties through the casings, and it was finished. It has been a while because I got sidetracked making this choker. Let me tell you about the pants. This is the design. Just some like loose, light, flowy pants, do them up with a zipper and a button, I assume. Here's the thing. I was going through my fabric stash and I found this black cotton voile and I was like, oh, perfect, super light and not super see-through. So that'll be great for a pair of pants. And then I unfolded it and I was like, oh, it's got some stitch lines in it. Because it's a pair of pants. Not a complete pair of pants, it's a mock-up. It looks like I just tested out the pattern block approximately 7 years ago. And I have been hauling this around in my fabric stash, unbeknownst to me, for 7 years. We're halfway there. I have this piece of fabric that is going to have to do us for our waistband, and if we can figure it out, possibly some of the pockets. So this has to have pockets, just does. I'm so excited to have comfy summery pants. So this needs to have a curved waistband if we want it to sit any semblance of well on me, and there has to be a curved waistband somewhere in here. Not a high-waisted one, but a hip one. I'm thinking maybe for the jeans that I did. Aha! So yeah, these are literally just cutting out the block, putting some darts in and sewing the legs together. I know it's sort of cheating, but I did make them at some point. I cut the waistband pattern at the side seams, but even then I struggled to fit it onto our small piece of fabric, so I decided to just sleep on it. Good morning! I've realized that I should probably try the pants on and see where the waist ends. Good news, it sits high on my waist, so we've got plenty of room to fit that waistband on kind of wherever it falls, is what I'm thinking. So yes, I have decided what we're doing for the waistband. I'm going to cut it on the bias, but I'm going to interface it, and I feel like that should give us a bit of a happy medium. Let's get straight into making because I really need to catch up. I cut out the waistband and also a facing thing for the zipper so that it wouldn't be against skin, and then I cut out our interfacing. Thomas just came back from getting a whippersnipper and he brought me flowers. So sweet. I have found our trouser block. I possibly already drafted a pocket for this at some point. Now I've got Thomas doing whippersnippering, so look, it's just gonna be in the background, the noise, just we'll deal with it. Look at him go. All right, I've made some kind of pocket piece. I don't remember doing this. Okay, cool. So we already made a pocket for these, great. Pocket pieces. I have our pocket covers made out of the voile. Next step. So I immediately forgot that we were going to lower the waistband and plowed right ahead with making and attaching pockets at the existing waistband. You see why this is a problem? I also cut the pockets out of linen and attached facings to them in the material of the pants to help them match. All right, I have attached the back of the pockets, which also make up part of the front of the pants. So now I just have to stitch around this edge here and then overlock. And then we should probably overlock some of these inner seams and figure out that zipper. Please tell me that everyone makes these kinds of silly mistakes. I don't know if it's just because it's so condensed in this video, but I make so many mistakes. Okay, let's bring it all together. Side, middle, side, go. Completed waistband. Let's get these attached to the pants. Okay, ignore all of the mess, focus on me, okay? Just focus on me. I have figured it out. So here is the, again, don't look at the mess. So that's the edge of the pants here, and then I would be adding a waistband to that, and that's too high for what I want. And so what I have done is I have pinned the waistband down to where I think it can comfortably sit, like that. So that would be the new waistband line. We can still fit our hand in the pocket. I figured it out. Sorry, I'm very tired. There's very little left to do on these pants. We are gonna get it done, maybe tomorrow. See what we can do. It's a girl dinner day. You won't see it because this video is going to be long enough as it is, but so much went wrong today. Just silly things like forgetting to alter the waistband first, cutting the waistband on a seam in the fabric, and interfacing the wrong side of the waistband. To be real, I think there was just too much garbage happening in the world for me to focus. Oh, also, I forgot this should have pleats, so I'm gonna need to unpick this waistband tomorrow too. Yay! Good afternoon. And yes, it is the afternoon. Thomas and I may have been playing Diablo this morning. Actually, I'm lying. We played it all day yesterday. And then we made chocolate chip cookies, and then we went and got sushi. I have had a day off. I am ready to finish these pants. I secured our teeny tiny pleat and re-sewed the waistband. It's time to put a zipper in, and I'm gonna save you the tears. Transition time. Nobody wants to watch me struggle with this guy, so let's go. Not my best. I figured out how to not have tears while sewing invisible zippers in. Here's what it is. You have to hand stitch it in first. You gotta do some tacking stitches, and then when you inevitably sew it like 7 times and your machine refuses to stitch because of the issue with the bobbin holder, you don't end up crying because it's still in the right spot-ish. Can't use the industrial at the moment. I'm trying to get a new bobbin case, but for now, it's back to this old boy. Good job, brother. To finish up the pants, I prepped the waistband facing, did a little stitch in the ditch, attached the fly facing by hand for some reason, I'm sure I had a reason, Then it was just buttonhole, button, and hems. Good morning. It is the morning this time. Haha, beat midday by an hour. Today we're going to get started on the skirt, which, by the way, I checked the reference image again. I thought it was a midi. It's totally a maxi. It's a long skirt. So luckily I bought extra fabric, so we should be fine. But I thought that what we could actually start with is to go through some items of my wardrobe that I actually love and that really feel like me. And that's kind of what we're trying to expand upon in this frenzy of making stuff. So like I said, my vibe is a little bit boho goth / witchy in a modern way. Hence this hat. It took me a really long time to work up the courage to buy a hat like this. It's 100% wool and I love it. So this is one of my favorite dresses. Let's move on to my next favorite outfit. Now this is where it's important that two things can be true at the same time. I feel very me in my witchy flowy dresses. This is probably the most me that I feel. This is my very comfortable go-to general outfit. Baggy overalls, they are so comfortable. They don't restrict my tummy at all. I kind of feel like this vibe for me is I will fix your house and that is a threat. Don't let me near your power tools is what I'm saying, because I don't know how to use them, but I will. I thought that I would grow into wanting to wear sandals. I saw a lot of women wearing like these grown-up shoes and I kept waiting for when I would want to do that. I was like, at some point, I must want to wear sandals. Let's see how flexible I am. Nope. I like sneakers. I will always like sneakers. You know, I'm 34 now. That's how long it's taken me to realize I only wear 3 kinds of shoes, and that is Birkenstocks, Converse sneakers, and Docs. On the topic of things that I love, I thought that these would fix all of my style problems. I do this a lot when I buy jeans. I think this is it. I'm gonna be able to wear every outfit now because I have this one item and it's gonna fix my whole dang life. Shockingly, these did not fix my whole life because guess what? I don't have anything to wear them with. Those are the things that I feel the most comfortable in. Let's make a maxi skirt with a split that might go with these. These are my dress blocks. So we've got a woven one for the back and this one, jersey dress block. And we're working with jersey. Oh my gosh, could I use the top of this to make tank top? That's my gilet pattern right there too. Yes! I traced the block to make our back pattern piece, extending the length by a lot and the width by a bit. Then I tried to work out the measurements of the waistband. So this skirt isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was. This will not stretch enough to go over my hips if it's sitting on my waist, see? Which means we are putting buttons on. Also, there's a bull ant somewhere in here. He was playing around in the roll part of my pattern paper and I'm worried about squishing him because if I squish him, the smell will attract more ants. We cannot do that. So we're gonna have to be careful and at some point, we may have to go catch a bull ant, okay? Could you please just get in the glass? I got him. I'm gonna put him outside now. There you go. I made 2 separate pieces for the front because of our side split, and because we are now doing buttons, I made sure I added about 3 centimeters to each side of the split so I could interface and fold over a facing to allow for the buttonholes and buttons. Oh, I'm sorry, off-mouth. Have I upset you? Have I upset you with my clicking? We have our pieces cut out and it has been a little while because I may have gotten distracted and I cut out the top part of that dress in the jersey and I think we can make a bonus top. That's just our little jersey top. I've just overlocked the sides and the tops. So I'm gonna see if the twin needle will work in terms of folding over these raw edges and sewing them down. We might have a little matching set. Here's my plan if this works. On the shoulders here, I'm gonna put a little casing on that side and then I can just have similar ties to the other one on the top, but also so comfy because it's jersey. Kind of forgot I was making a video and I was just having a really fun time cutting out fabric and doing sewing and being like, oh, maybe I can make a top out of this. I will try to be more focused, just having a really good time. I have never used the twin needle before. This is fresh out the packet. I had such a bad time with this twin needle. I read the manual, I watched a video, and everything implied the machine would just know that I had put a twin needle in. Let's see, I'm scared. Yep, of course it didn't work. I don't understand what you want from me. Why is it working now? Jesus Christ. Well, okay, the tension is garbage, but that'll do. Let's get into it. I think you should know that in the course of making this video, I have had to deal with so many spiders in my house, and I have been very good and only filmed one of them, and don't worry, it's one of the really dumb ones. I would like to introduce you to why we do mock-ups and why we don't just cut patterns out of the main fabric without having ever tried it before. This ain't it, chief. It just kind of like clings to my hips, to my thighs in the wrong way. It's fine, but I don't love it. So, we're gonna do goddess. Let's go figure that out and hope that we don't massacre all this fabric trying to make a skirt. I hope this works. It took straight up an hour to unpick all of the overlocking. So I have pinned on the, what are they called? Goddess. So I'll have to overlock that back on and then pin the other sides on and overlock those back on. But I'm probably gonna finish those things up tomorrow. I don't feel like doing anything else today. I'm very tired. I'm gonna go make dinner and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, I lied. I kept working. I did not pack it in for the night. I'm about to though. So much better. Here's the thing, you actually probably shouldn't put gauze into a curved seam. I wouldn't do that again. I would just add that amount of fabric to the skirt initially so I wouldn't have to put it in as gauze. Good morning. How cute is this jumper? I actually got this from the op shop ages ago, but I just hadn't washed it yet. I'm always complaining I don't have cute jumpers, and now I had already kind of started to impose my new restriction, which was like I have to love it in order to purchase it, not just go, this is fine, because that's how I ended up with a wardrobe full of clothes that are just fine. Let's get this skirt done today. So we're going to start out with reinforcing where the buttons and buttonholes are going to go. We are going to then attach the waistband. Oh, and then after that, we're going to have a play around with this little top that I started making for some reason. I interfaced the areas for the buttons and buttonholes, and then I spent hours trying to get a buttonhole to work on this stretch of fabric. I will save you the drama, but know that it resulted in me looking like this, and this, and this. I got it to work on my last attempt. I was so ready to give up, and basically it couldn't be a regular buttonhole like this. It had to be a rounded one that had stabilizing stitches around it, which I then unpicked afterwards. Ho ho ho! The steps required to achieve that. My gosh. I've put the elastic inside our waistband casing here, and I have stitched it in place along the edge, not the edge, but like about an inch from the edge, so that there is room for a buttonhole to go here. So all I'm going to do to attach it is just overlock all the way down there. The buttonholes really took it out of me because I stuffed up one of them by not trimming the thread, and then I had to try and unpick buttonhole stitching. So it's just been going swimmingly today. Good. I did the hemming next, which should have been really easy, but I think the machines might hate me because it skipped so many stitches. I adjusted all the tensions. I don't know what it wanted from me. So I had some ice cream and sewed my buttons on with some TV. Then I switched to zigzag stitches for the top and they worked fine. The skirt is finished. I stitched all of the buttons on, and then I got to the last buttonhole and realized I was a button short because I didn't calculate it correctly. I just keep holding up like the void for you guys to look at. What I had to do in the end was put a little heart button at the bottom because I ran out of the black ones. Other thing that I did, finish that little bonus top. Oh, I will say I probably am not sold on knit fabrics just yet until I can figure out how to make twin needle stitches not look so garbage. So yeah, items 4 and 5 complete. I'm not sure what I want to start with just yet. We'll see what the vibe is in the morning. Good night. I thought I would change it up a bit by just putting the camera in a different spot. Is that making it more interesting? I don't know. Yes, I am wearing the same jumper. It's a different day, different pants on, but this is what I do when I get a new item of clothing that I like. I wear it to death. I think we're all like that though. So it's not really like an interesting personality trait that I'm telling you about. It's comfy. And it's also, I think, my only clean jumper at this stage. So I might have bought 2 of the same bed sheet or tablecloth or something. Maybe it's a tablecloth. We are making this dress. Same sort of bodice shape as my top that I made at the start, but we're gonna do lacing down the front, ties for the straps, that way I don't have to get them the exact right length, so easy. Shirring at the back, my arch nemesis. I'm hopeful because now that I know how to change the bobbin tension on this machine, because I found it yesterday, we might actually be able to do shirring without it taking a million years. Same pattern as the first top that we did. We're not gonna add any seam allowance except for this one because we're not cutting it on the fold. We're gonna put lacing here. So we'll cut out 2 lots of these because I actually do wanna line it in this fabric because it makes it nice and opaque when there's 2 layers. We need to cut out a back rectangle for the shirring, and then we need to cut out some straps and skirt layers. No! Why? I just cut the seam allowance off that I left. This is, why do I rely on my memory? Okay, I have to cut out another 4 pieces of this one. Why would I not just cut the line that was already there? Ugh. I was really hoping I would convey in this video that it's easy to make your own clothes and that if you're not sewing already, maybe you'd be inspired to try. But I don't think that's what's coming across here at all. I'm honestly having a great time, I promise. And so if you're enjoying watching me kind of slowly lose my mind, why not make it all worth it and give this video a like? Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you so much. And in fact, I won't lie to you. I end up with a pretty awesome wardrobe at the end of this. So this was worth it to me, even if you don't like or subscribe. But again, to reiterate, I would still super appreciate that.
Seeing as this project, the entire design kind of hinges on the shirring working, I figure we should start with that, because if the shirring won't work, we're gonna have to do a zipper or some kind of other situation.
Don't worry, the shirring is right on theme for this video.
I have done so many practice ones. Have I mentioned that shirring is my enemy? This is what it looked like to begin with. Then we got to this, and now our latest one is this one. Huh? It's still not great. So, I'm just gonna start.
I tried tightening it by hand like I did last time, but that didn't really work. I think I'm just resigned to only getting average shirring results with the Brother machine.
Let's get the bodice together. Here are our pieces. Focus. All right, now we take this one, there, this one, there. Well, not quite there, there. Well, actually it has to be the other way around. Oh, come on. And now I'm gonna stitch along here and here. The shirring will go here, lacing will go here, skirt will go here. But before we can sew this, we need straps. So, yeah, I need that. That was really silly. Strips. Magic. I made these ones thinner and I am so happy with them. Next up, let's put it all together. Oh, hey, look, they're done. And they actually don't fit in the shot. That's a whoops on my part. Yeah, I am obsessed. This is so cute. I love it. I can't wait to make this into a dress tomorrow. I'm going to make it into a dress tomorrow. It is a Diablo and fried chicken kind of night. I am very excited. I am hungry. I will see you tomorrow for putting in our shirring panel, for putting in our pockets, putting in our skirt and our lining. I don't know, I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling we can get it done tomorrow. I love sewing. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Actually, I forgot about the lacing, so maybe we can't do it tomorrow because I think I need to do hand sewn eyelets for this one. Anyway, we'll get a lot done tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Can't really lift my legs up very high in these pants. Good morning. Yes, I am wearing the same jumper for the third day in a row. I am a cartoon character. This is my uniform now. At least we know it feels like me, right? That I feel comfortable wearing this 3 days in a row. This has to be part of my personal style. More importantly than the jumper though, what are our thoughts on skinny jeans? Because I'm trying to stretch out a pair of jeans for Thomas. He has 2 pairs of the same brand, same size, same cut, and they are 2 different sizes. These ones are too small, and I was like, well, maybe I can try and like stretch them out. And look, they're getting a little bit more comfortable the longer I'm wearing them. But excuse me, ladies, look at my arm just disappear into these pants. I was confused as to why there was fabric halfway down my thigh. The size of the pockets. Look, 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 look. Phone? This is about where you get in women's jeans? Magic. It's gone. What? I'm gonna start looking in the men's section when I go to op shops. These are fine. I'd like them to be like a little bit more of a straight leg than the skinny, which brings me to skinny jeans and how the trend cycle has ruined my wardrobe. Because I'm doing such a long, weird intro for today. Do you know what? It's a tangent, okay? Over the course of my working life, I accumulated around about 10 pairs of jeans, all of them skinny jeans. And let's say around about an average of $200 a pop. Jeans are expensive here, okay? And I bought Australian made. Now, collectively, we all decided that skinny jeans aren't good anymore. And they just kind of feel weird to wear. Not just because of the comfort issue, because it turns out there are much comfier things to wear than jeans. I just want to get people's thoughts. Why do we all think like a hive mind and go, well, I saw less people wearing skinny jeans and more people wearing baggy jeans because I see them all the time. Now I guess I like them. And like, I loved baggy jeans when I was younger as well. And I loved cargo pants. And then they stopped being available. You couldn't buy cargo pants anywhere because it was all skinny pants. So we bought skinny pants. It frustrates me that I've got like $2,000 worth of jeans just sitting in a bag. I don't want to donate them because no one's going to wear them because they're not in fashion anymore. So they're going to end up in landfill. So now I'm just holding on to them until they come back around in like another 10 years, which by then jeans from my 20s won't fit me anymore. What do I do with them? Why does this happen? I get that silhouettes change all the time through history, but why is it that we are so influenced by everyone around us instead of just having a thing that works for us? Tom has a personal style. Skinny jeans. They look great on him. They always look great on him. It's so much easier to dress him. There are fewer options, to be honest. Anyway, I'm rather out of breath from my random rant on jeans. I gotta tell you, I'm probably gonna take these off pretty soon because I'm not sure I can sit down in them. Let me know if you were at the start of the skinny jeans changeover, or you were a late adopter. Were you shamed by social media? Or did you never wear jeans because you're smart and you wear comfier stuff? Anyway, we've got a dress to make. I have tried this on. I very cleverly moved the pins to the outside so I wouldn't stab myself. And I have determined that I need to reduce the length of this by about 1.5 to 2 inches just to make it fit a little bit better. In terms of stretching over the top of my head and my shoulders, yes, good, it does that. I also thought to improve the fit and just make it more complicated for myself, as I am wont to do, I'm gonna add loops and make a little crisscross lace up at the back of this as well so that I can adjust the fit a bit. We have so much sewing to do, so let's get to it. Such good news, everyone. I don't know why I said it like that. I had to play around with the screw that holds the little arm onto the bobbin case, and I can sew with the industrial machine again. I missed it. Ow! Oh, that was so right on the edge of the temple. Anyway, I've missed it very much. Domestic machine just could not get through the layers of fabric. It was struggling so bad, and it's so slow. Ah! We've got 2 panels that need to be sewn together, but I need to put the pockets on. So let's do that. Put this nonsense away for now. Honestly, it's very good for things like buttonholes and zigzags and all the other stuff, but just like for straight stitching, that's my girl right there, my Juki. Hoping my brain kicks into gear and just does this for me. We will sew along the little elephant ears along down this side of all of these. Gotta do my own sound effects. Fold that out, put them on top of each other, and then stitch around there and then also up a little bit to hold this together. Good? Good. Oh, I've missed this machine.
I should probably talk about how I'm doing the pockets and then gathering the skirt up into the bodice, but I'm currently eating my lunch and I don't feel like it.
Cute. Look at how cute it is. Very Daisy Dukes at the moment with the pockets coming out the bottom. So now all I need to do is repeat that process for the second tier. I know we're in the middle of a transition, but look how long this layer of the skirt's gonna be. Okay. Okay, not to be dramatic, but this is the cutest thing I have ever made. I am obsessed with this dress. This is so cute and it's gonna get cuter. I also did some top stitching and I think it looks so nice.
All I had to do then was lightly gather the lining, machine it to the bodice, and then hand sew in the remaining seams. I had to do hand sewn eyelets because they were going to touch my skin and the metal ones are really scratchy. I started with the ones at the bottom because I knew they were going to be messy and I would improve my technique as I went. I think I used 4 strands of embroidery thread for the eyelets. So at one point I was trying to pull the thread out of my pin cushion and I flung some pins around. All around, apparently. Not good. I told you my technique would get better as I went. Anyway, I finished up the eyelets while watching the latest Mikera Tours video.
There's another thing smells do where they go up in...
Elf now? Show me them stuck lips. Show me them stuck lips. What a good boy.
It's officially too dang hot for pants. Dress is finished. Our fabric stash is finally starting to dwindle. And remember how I said that it's really hot, it's 32 degrees today? We're finally using that wool that I bought. Yeah, getting them done just in time for summer to kick in. I can't tell you what color this is. It's like a browny gray taupe. It looks like a possum. This is a really nice like coating weight wool, I think. So this one is the base for our vest. And this is the lining.
This vest, I forgot to mention that. My basis for the gilet/vest was the jersey dress pattern as it didn't have any darts for me to remove and I wanted to avoid darts like on the original gilet, particularly because we're going to embroider it. I decided to get straight into a mock-up of the block to get an idea of what we were working with, and I was smart enough to add some ease but not smart enough to add the ease properly. You can't just add it here, that will affect the fit weirdly. I think I should have cut through it and expanded the whole thing outwards.
All right, let's sew it together and put her on. I wasn't sure if that transition was gonna work. Did it work? Obviously the underarm needs to come down a little bit because that is cutting in. I wanna bring this line down as well, and something's going on with the back of my neck. It's a bit weird. So I'm gonna draw a couple of adjustments on here and then we're gonna have a go at another pattern piece. We're gonna do our best. It's very hot and I don't know what I'm doing.
Initially, I thought I needed to make the lining layer larger than the main fabric so we could wrap around to the front. Then I realized that that probably wouldn't work with the curves and how much of the teddy wool I wanted showing through, and that it's probably just a trim instead. But I got stuck on it working like bias binding when how I needed to think about it was as ribbing. I'm just so used to working with woven fabric that I didn't think about the wool being able to stretch for the trims to sit right.
I'm gonna do this, mock-up number 2. Go dark, mock-up number 2. Mock-up number 2. Haha! Focus.
I know it looks worse here, but I needed to make the mock-up too big to accommodate how thick the teddy fabric was. But also it was kind of worse. I'm gonna save us a lot of time and just summarize this. I drew the changes, got stuck on how I would make a collar, then figured out it was probably just a straight piece of fabric, made this mock-up, realized what I had done at the start that made the neck weird, added that space to the sides instead by rotating the pattern, and finally, after like 4 patterns and 5 mock-ups, I was finally able to get a shape that worked.
We finally have our pattern pieces. It's so much simpler than I was making it. It's time to cut it out in the real fabric.
No kidding, I think I spent a day and a half on that and I actually considered just giving up and not including that part at all.
I'm really proud of myself because I realized that this fabric has a nap, it has a direction. And so I cut them out both in the same direction. I'm gonna join this one here, 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 and same for this one. Let's go.
Well, it looks like I forgot that I was doing a transition, but I showed you how to remove the pile from the seam. I did a test of freehand machine embroidery and realized that I needed to interface the wool. This should really be done before sewing the pieces together. It was really awkward. Then I joined up the lining and outer pieces and stitched them together with a long tacking stitch just so they wouldn't move. I cut some trim pieces along the weft of the teddy fabric, twice as wide as I wanted plus seam allowance. Then I stitched those down all along the outer of the vest. Honestly, once I got past the patterning stage of this, the construction was actually so easy.
That is all of the machine sewing done. So now I am going to plonk myself on the couch very gratefully and get on hand sewing all of these in on the insides. This is the coziest thing ever. The vests that I have seen like this are normally made out of polyester or they are well into the hundreds. It just means so much to be able to make it myself. The fluff's in my mouth.
Now this fabric was a little tricky to hand sew because I couldn't press it, but it was very forgiving because the stitches really disappeared into it, so all in all I'd call it a win.
Good morning, hi, what's up? We're back to chilly weather. Only for a couple of days, a heat wave is coming. I am very sad, but at least I will have some cute light clothing to wear. Speaking of the opposite of that, look at it. I love it so much. I am obsessed with this to a level I cannot explain. I think I just made like an heirloom piece. We're not even finished yet, but I'm gonna keep this forever. I know we're speed running my personal style, but like forever. This is the finished pattern. These are all the patterns that I made. These are the mock-ups. 4 individual what was my hair in my face that whole time? Next, obviously, is embroidery. So we've got some machine stitching here, and then I did this one by hand. And if you step further back, you know which one I'm gonna do. You know it. You know why this video is late. Other than the huge amount of mock-ups it took to make this vest, I'm gonna hand embroider it. Here is my design. Here is the illustration. I did this morning. I'm not sold on the cauldron, to be honest, so we're gonna leave that bit to last so I can figure out what's actually gonna go there. Let's get into it.
I started out freehand stitching a star and it went so badly. I decided to keep it though. For the heart, I drew that on first with a fabric pencil and that went way better. I decided I would work on the embroidery in the evening so I could keep going with our other pieces the next day.
We're finally using a commercial pattern. We're going to crop it. It's a stand-up collar. We're gonna make that a little bit taller. First thing we have to do is just a quick mock-up to make sure we are not wasting our very expensive and very precious wool fabric. Let's get to it. I know that I very confidently just said that it was mock-up time, but it has just occurred to me. It is lay out the pieces on the fabric and figure out if we have enough time. All right, we have more than what fits on the table. Good sign. I'm gonna guess we're doing it to about there to make it cropped. Oh, it's not looking good. Friends, it is not looking good. Why are sleeves so big? Oh yeah, we're in trouble because I would need to double this.
Oh, I didn't explain. I was trying to make the lining and outer out of the teddy fabric because it's just so cozy, but it was not gonna fit even if I pieced it together.
I may have a solution. What do we think? It's a boiled wool, I think. An amazing feeling fabric. And what, just ignore the bin. I can piece together a layer of the jacket. Oh my God, that took all day. Not because sewing it was particularly difficult, but mostly because the new screw arrived for my bobbin case and I have been messing with the machine all day because it didn't fix the problem. The machine was still pulling the thread out and I had to take the bobbin out every single time. And so I checked the instructions and the top dial was meant to be turned to the left and it's totally fine now. So we got there in the end and we have a mock-up. Let's try it on. What do we think? I'll tell you what I think. Like, I have to tell you what I think. That's the point of this. So I just need to extend the collar. I'm also going to make it a bit taller, kind of curves here, and I just want it to go straight straight. I am gonna put the elastic in the bottom because I think that's just gonna make it warmer, but I am not gonna do the elastic on the cuff. It makes me feel like I'm wearing like a big old clown onesie. It'll be gray on the outside, furry cuffs, furry collar, and we might also do fur here and possibly the pocket. I'm not looking at the camera, I'm so sorry. Such a good boy looking in the mirror. All right, come on, let's go make a jacket. Let's go, come on. I can just leave that open if you prefer. No? Okay.
The original pattern had side seam pockets, but I had cropped it so they really wouldn't work anymore. This is what it would look like if I had side seam pockets. So I drew out welt pockets that I thought would fit into the front instead. Then I shortened the arms and I gave Alfie some attention.
What is it? What is it? That's right, you did leave some crumbs there earlier. Good job cleaning up after yourself. I don't know if he does this by accident or if he purposely leaves crumbs on the ground so that he can snack on them later. Let's make it quick. Is this my worst transition ever? Oh, you thought that there would be pieces here? No, it's chaos. This is all that's left. I apparently didn't calculate this very well at all. This is our collar piece. I have had to make it into 3 pieces. Whoops. Getting through the fabric stash, so that's nice.
I started with joining up those collar pieces so I wouldn't forget what they are. Then I sewed together the front and back of the arms, joined the side seams, and did my ironing. I know it's probably boring that I include the ironing shots, but I do think that if you're learning sewing from YouTube, you should know that ironing is a really important step to get a good finish.
This was really confusing for me. I was like, where does the sleeve, why not closed? The sleeve forms part of the top. Chuck them there, and we're gonna pin that all along here, but then that part there forms the top here. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. It's pretty late. I've got only 10 minutes left on my SD card for filming and negative space for brain stuff. So I'm gonna go to bed. I have been reading my tailoring book and I still don't get how I'm gonna do these welt pockets. So let's just get straight into it. Not the pockets, because I'm scared of that, but let's just get straight into construction. We're gonna figure it out.
I pinned the sleeves onto the jacket body all along those curves, sewed them in place, did my interfacing, and oh no, filming me is left explaining the welt pockets to editing me. I don't know, I just kind of placed them where I thought they would fit and then matched the markings to the other side of the jacket. Oh, what's that? Filming me is taking over? Thank God.
So we're gonna stitch down that, and then from the other side, we're gonna slice this open, do a little triangle shape here so it can fold out and we end up with little straight edges. This folds over that away, and this one folds inside that away, and then we attach another pocket on top somehow, and we get fluff everywhere.
Haha, now I don't need to explain what I'm doing because I already did, and you can see it right here. So I did the pockets as we previously described. I sewed the welt edges down by hand, then joined the inner and outer collar pieces and trimmed off the bulk.
It was sitting really weird, so I've top stitched it while holding this side of it down onto that side, and it is sitting so much nicer now. Okay, I just realized that I wasn't meant to sew that bit until the zipper was in. I really don't want to. We should put the zipper in because it's stressing me out. And so the best way to deal with things that stress you out is just do them. Let's sew all the fluffy bits together. The exact same process as before. Huzzah, not huzzah. So much fluff. Bring it together. Ah, look how cozy this looks. Really wish I could have done it both sides, but let's see what we're working with. Oh my God, it's so puffy. This is the thickest jacket ever, look. 46 centimeter zipper. So how do I?
This was actually surprisingly one of the easiest zippers I've ever put in.
So now all I have to do is figure out how to get the lining in. And we'll be done with this one.
I landed on machine stitching the collar and the zipper parts and then doing the most awkward top stitching I have ever done in my life. Then I finished this one up with hand sewing the cuffs and the hem. The hem was awkward, it had elastic inside it while I was sewing.
This is a curtain that I got from the op shop. It's in a grey linen. This is our design. To make sure that this dress is going to be able to go over my head without having closures, we're going to copy these measurements. Let's get straight into it because this video is long enough as it is and we're still going. And we draw this.
I just added a side panel to this so that I would have a place for the loops to be sewn into.
3 pattern pieces, back, middle, front.
I unpicked absolutely everything on this to be super economical in using all of the fabric.
You can't really tell, but we have darts. So let's join them together. Haha! It's going to be 35 degrees today. I'm wearing shorts. There's no other option because it's going to get so damn hot. So that's not relevant to the plot. That's just so you understand why I'm going to be so shiny later on. Let's get straight into it. We really need to finish this.
There we are. So that one can go there, and that'll tie a little bow at the back. And there's the completed bodice. I love it so much. Now, for the skirt. The overlocker thread is white. I'm not changing it for this one bit. We can, wait, We have our skirt, we have our pocket being little elephant ears on the sides. So now all I have to do is stitch that seam and then whip, beep, 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 I gotta stop doing the sound effects, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to put in my split and then we gather it into the bodice, hem it, and we'll be done. Okay, I'm gonna warn you now, it's just for a couple of seconds and it's just a tiny day long legs, but while I was trying to cut out the fabric, I just had this little spider that I was trying to get him to move along, so I had to keep bumping the fabric to be like, get out of the way, buddy. So, move along. There we go, off of the fabric, thank you. God, it's like having multiple dogs. Good boy, Elf. Oh, I had to refill a bobbin, so we're about to have a staring contest. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Did you win? Let me know in the comments. I tried my best. To finish the dress, I just did a narrow rolled hem and hand stitched in the lining. I know I've probably said this about every piece so far, except for the jacket. This might be my favorite thing that I made. So cute. So where that leaves us is, all we have left to do is the embroidery on the vest. Can you hear that?
You should make some linen pants with an elasticized waist.
I do want linen pants.
They'd be so light and breezy.
That does sound nice.
Don't you want to be comfortable?
Yes.
Make the pants.
But I've already made 9 things. I made a jacket. I made 2 dresses and 3 tops. And I already made pants.
These would be more comfortable.
These would be more comfortable. You're right.
Yes, make the pants.
Let's make some pants. 10 items does sound better for the thumbnail. I did a whole bunch of patterning for this that was completely wrong, so ignore everything that I do. To make a pair of pants that look like this seam should be straight, not curved, like I did. I was able to fix it, but seriously, these should have been so simple. So let's keep it really simple. I stitched the pockets to the front of the pant legs, joined the front and back leg pieces, stuffed one leg inside the other to close the seat, overlocked my raw edges and they were looking a lot like pants. Up next was adding buttonholes to the waistband for the drawstring to go through, attaching the waistband to the legs, overlocking the waistband closed, so simple, feeding the elastic through the waistband, stitching the channel for the drawstring and feeding that through, then I just gave them a lovely wide hem and they were done. I just tried them on and I cannot stop smiling. These are so cute and comfy. So now all that's left is the embroidery.
Why don't you make more stuff? I have ideas.
Don't you start.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you just might want a matching top.
I do want a matching top for sure with those scraps. Maybe on my day off, but no, I cannot make another item. So let's finish the embroidery. I made a makeshift light box using some books and a glass chopping board, and once I had traced the design onto tissue paper, I traced it onto the vest with a single thread. Removing the tissue paper was tricky because for some reason I didn't tie knots in the thread tracing. Then I used 3 threads of embroidery floss for the final stitches. I used a running back stitch and I wouldn't recommend this for an item you plan on machine washing. I'll probably just dry clean this. In the end, I decided that I didn't want to do the cauldron because I wasn't 100% happy with that, so I'm just going to embroider that part at a later date. And with that, my friends, this ridiculous endeavor is finally over and it is time for the reveal. I really hope that that treadmill footage worked because that took 3 hours to set up and film. Just the treadmill stuff. But I had so much fun with this. I really hope you guys liked watching me make some wearable clothes. I can say with absolute certainty that I'm going to reach for pretty much every one of these items, like on the regular. In terms of favorite, honestly, these linen pants are a revelation. What? How have I gone my entire adult life without owning a pair of elasticized waist linen pants? Obviously, I am obsessed with this vest. I would say that my least favorite is the jacket. It just didn't turn out like I pictured. I really, really wished that I had bought enough fabric to be able to use the teddy fabric for the outer and the lining. Let me know what your favorite item was, please. I would love some feedback. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for hanging out. Having made 10 different items of clothing for one video, I think I finally learnt my lesson. I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye!